Part of it, too, was me talking about dating the loser man who can't swim. No, and mind you, he's texting me like, do you still want to see each other this weekend? Like, am I going to see you? Brother, I hope I don't even see you in the afterlife. Like, oh my God.
Buckle up, literature fans. We're in for some boozy bookgasms today. Join three cousins creating a titillating headspace where steamy romance novels collide with strong cocktails. So, sit back, sip slow, and enjoy the ride.
Welcome back for another episode of Boozy Bookgasms. I'm Lynn.
I'm Jen.
And I'm Kim.
We still have our special guest, Miranda, here with us, another cousin. We're so glad she's back for the second episode of Heated Rivalry. We are recapping the show, the 6-episode series. Miranda is a super fan and has been keeping us up to speed on all of the lore. It's a lot of full, long looks, rivalries, affairs, and a sweet ending, or 2 or 3 or 4.
A lot of endings.
But before we get going, Kim, what are we drinking tonight?
Today's cocktail is called Rivalry Reignited. Unlike our last episode's drink, which was kind of sweet, little deceptive, this one doesn't even pretend to be nice. It's smoky mezcal, sharp grapefruit, and just enough spice to let you know things are escalating. So once a rivalry crosses that line, there is no going back. So we've got mezcal, grapefruit, lime juice, agave, orange bitters, and then, we've been using tahini a lot lately in our drinks.
I love it.
We know how much Jenny likes a good rim.
Rim job. Yep.
Rimming. So, yeah, rim jobs are always popular here. We'll rim this one with some tahini for you.
Yummy. Thank you.
Yeah, I love mezcal.
Spicy.
Tasty. So we are recapping episodes 4 through 6. We finished episodes 1 through 3 in the last one. So if you didn't listen to that episode, please go back because we will have tons of spoilers. So we opened up episode 4. The first little bit of this episode is a cascade of years.
Like a montage.
Yeah.
And a good one at that.
It's a really good one. So they're playing in 2014, in between seasons, kind of running, texting each other. They're very different in between season attitudes. Hollander is working out. He's doing promo deals, quiet nights at home. Rosanov is partying in clubs with his friends, Svetlana. And then we go into the next season where they're fucking the whole time. Then we move on. One of them wins the Stanley Cup, watching each other on TV. Now we're in the summer of 2015. Both of them working out. Rosanov still partying and fucking his life away.
And Miranda told us in the last book he was sleeping with a lot of women.
He's a fuckboy.
Yeah, I think they try to do the catch up of like, he's partying, he's still doing that.
But he's not sleeping with men. He's only sleeping with women.
He dabbles.
It's unclear.
In the book, he dabbles, but the men, it's less safe because it's like, oh, what if they blab?
Because he can't be gay.
Right. So it's few and far between, but like, yeah, he dabbles. He goes back and forth. Mostly women, though.
Their lives are hyperspeed, but they're still keeping track of each other. So then there's the next season. There's more sex. Just little snippets of them kind of getting together.
It's I feel like trying to build, they've been hooking up for years. So it's like they're more familiar with each other and more comfortable.
It's not insta love.
Yes. Like it's trying to show that they've been hooking up and they are familiar with each other for a while.
And I think that that's where I struggle with episode 1 and 2 was it just felt somewhat transactional and not really a relationship. So I guess this is meant to help us get to that.
See how long term it's gone.
So Hollander wins his second Stanley Cup. Rosanov is still watching. Lots of banter via text. And we get a glimpse of Rosanov's dad. So during one of the summer breaks, Rosanov is back in Russia. He's with his dad. There's medicine bottles. He's like trying to take care of him. So we know that that's going to come back up. They hinted at the fact that the dad was a bit sick in the first half of the series. We start the episode really in October 2016. So you'll remember these guys met in 2008. So it's been 8 years of this sort of on again, off again romance between them. Hayden is one of Shane's friends and plays hockey with him. And what I didn't realize in the first half of the series was they share a room a lot, I guess, when they're on the road.
Yeah.
That's his best friend on the team.
That's very common for athletic teams. You have a room. You're usually a rookie will room with a more senior member of the team.
Yeah. If you read the first book of Scott and Kip, Scott kind of touches on the only person who really gets their own room is like the team captain. Everybody else shares.
Okay.
When they're traveling.
That was definitely interesting to me. But Hayden tries to set up Hollander on a date
at the aquarium.
He had all these kids. How many kids did this guy have? They were hanging off him.
4 or 5, yeah.
His wife was pregnant with her 4th.
And now the running joke is that they have 1,000 kids.
So he tries to set up Hollander on a date, and he kind of acquiesces just to sort of get him out of his hair. Back in Boston, Rosenoff is watching Hollander on TV promoting his new cabin on the lake, or cottage. In Canada, they call them cottages. And he's doing some sort of 2020 or something, and they're doing this B-roll with him doing yoga in front of his cabin on the lake. And Hollander goes to Rosenoff's. They're there for a game.
The tuna melt scene.
Yes. Hollander walks into the house and is kind of like, wow. And he's like, should we talk? And Rosenoff's like, no, after. And then they have a lot of sex. After the sex,
right.
Rosenoff asked Shane to stay the night. Do you have anywhere to be tomorrow? We don't play till the afternoon. And he says, no, I don't have anywhere to be. And he's like, great, just stay here. So they do wake up. He's in the kitchen. He's like, hey, would you like a tuna melt?
So cringy.
And he's like, a tuna melt? He's like, well, I'm making one for me. I can make 2. And he's like, sure.
He's trying to be all nonchalant. And he just wants to cook his man a meal.
I guess he goes to make the tuna melt. Then we're on the couch.
Don't skip over the ginger ale.
Oh, he does offer him ginger ale.
The ginger ale of it all is huge.
Is it? It became a thing that I couldn't figure out why it was so huge.
Clock this. The whole series, every time that Shane is at a restaurant with his friends, he always asks for a ginger ale. In the last scene where he's at lunch with his family, he asks for a ginger ale and the waiter says, no, we don't have that. We only have sparkling water. And he's like, oh, okay, that's fine.
That's right.
Yeah.
He's like, okay, fine.
It's a symbol of being taken care of and understood. And I know people are going to be like, you're reaching. I'm not. It's literally
very confident.
I'm not reaching.
Hayden makes a comment about it too. Because Hayden's like, oh, if you want my wife to keep stocking our fridge with ginger ale, that's Shane's thing because he doesn't drink because he's very OCD the diet. Ilya having ginger ale, knowing he had to stock his fridge with ginger ale because he knows that that's what Shane drinks.
But he tried to play it off though. He's like, you want a ginger ale or, whatever.
Yes. He was like, oh, I have it in my fridge. It's whatever. And him being like, oh, is it cold enough? He's taking care of his man, but he's trying to be nonchalant.
I totally missed that. That was so sweet.
It's very cute.
Unbelievable, Jen. Unbelievable. Pay attention.
There are multiple times where Shane will ask for a ginger ale and people don't have it. And the only person that has it and it's cold and it's ready for him is Ilya.
Oh. I just got chills.
Heart flutter.
I know.
Because he's taking care of his man. Well, and in the book, it's from Shane's POV. Ilya's favorite drink is a Coca-Cola. And Shane has the recognition of Ilya knows my favorite drink. And then he was like, well, I guess I know Ilya's favorite drink. Ilya likes Coca-Cola. I guess we know more about each other than I thought.
We're paying attention.
Once again, it's kind of building that this is more than sex. As a reader or a viewer, you can start to clock, oh yeah, you're trying to be nonchalant about this, but it's very chalant.
I don't think that's right, but yes.
I'm still confused why they made tuna melts in the morning.
It's in the book. Everyone is horrified by the tuna.
It's so gross.
Heavy breathing into each other's tuna breath. Yeah, no.
I just no.
They are on the couch. They start to talk about each other's lives. For me, this was first date talk.
Small talk. And they've never had this before in 8 years.
It's a little awkward.
It's awkward because they're literally asking first date content.
This is not a hookup. This is a date.
Yeah.
We're spending time together. We're getting to know each other. We're getting closer.
It's taking sex out of the equation. And then it's okay, what is there now that there's no sex?
Now what do we talk about? Not tuna melts.
Romanoff gets a call from his dad. And so he excuses himself, is talking in Russian. So Shane can't understand what he's saying. But he's obviously very frustrated. We get the closed captions.
More insight into the dementia, how far it's progressed.
And that no one's there taking care of him. Ilya feels badly that he's not there to help. And also, I'm paying all this money for you to be taken care of and you're not being taken care of.
Guilt.
He sends the brother a lot of money and the brother has a coke habit.
And parties.
And is just generally awful.
In the first part of the series, too, we see some interactions between him and his brother where his brother's out partying, asking for more money.
Throwing the fact that he's got a kid in his face and you make all this money and...
Oh, you're so rich and famous, you can't share it with your family.
It's a lot of that.
Before the conversation with his dad, Ilya brings up, do you like girls? There's lots of pretty girls in the cities that we go to. And Shane's like, oh, yeah, I guess. And you can see in his face, he's like, why the fuck is he asking me about girls? I don't like girls. That's when you learn, oh, Ilya is bi. Ilya and Shane are not the same in the sense that Ilya does like both. And he admits to Shane and is very open of, yeah, I like both. Shane gets clammy of, oh, yeah, I like girls. And you're like, the closet is glass, girl. Like, you do not.
I think he is still really struggling.
He's not super sure.
I know I'm gay, but I can't be gay because it's not the right thing to be.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
He knows he's gay.
I don't think he does yet.
I think he knows he's gay. And I think Ilya offers that olive branch of like, well, I like both.
I think that he isn't very sure yet. And maybe he's questioning, like, maybe I could go both ways. And maybe that's what opens him up to his next relationship. Rozanov comes back from his call with his dad, and he's obviously feeling a bit vulnerable. And Shane cuddles him. And this is a very vulnerable moment for them where they're finally getting past the fuck buddy relationship, really cuddles him. But then Shane mounts him, and great couch sex scene with some jacking off.
Yeah.
I think at some point the tuna melts come out.
Tuna melts come out.
There was a big discourse of like, what are they doing? Because in the book, they are fucking. It's not like a jerking off situation. And then in the show, people are like, I think it's frocking. Starts with an F.
Frogging? That's weird.
They put the penises together and then you jack them both off at the same time.
Yes. You like touch tips, basically. And a lot of women were getting their eyes opened.
I have questions.
Raise your hand.
I don't understand. I need a visual.
He was jacking both of their penises off at the same time.
That's what it is. It's frocking, I think.
Someone Google that.
Someone's going to correct me, and I'm fine with that.
What's your question, Kim?
I'm just trying to visually figure out how that works.
With the single ounce of spit.
I bet there's some pre-cum in there somewhere.
And is there any safe sex in this story at
Yes.
all?
In the book, there is.
They always use condoms. In the first scene that they have sex, he pulls out the condoms from the drawer, and that's when Ilya's like, oh, do you have enough?
I do remember that part.
They fuck with condoms.
That's the only time, though.
Okay, yes, but I feel like that's like them saying they use condoms.
It's like implied.
The only other sex is all like montage-y.
True.
Every scene in the book, they use a condom. She's
Yes.
very specific about
That
that.
makes me feel better. Thank you.
No disease spreading, guys. We're good.
I appreciate that.
Is that your only question, Kim?
That was my only question. Thank you for asking.
The most interesting part about this scene on the couch with the dual dick jack off is they use each other's first names for the first time.
Oh, yes, it is the first time.
They have a very intense first name sexual moment.
And it's so pivotal.
Which is what freaks Shane the fuck up. He really starts freaking out.
After Ilya says it, you can see the bliss on Ilya's face. Him being like, oh, I'm in love with him. This like post-nut clarity.
Did you say post-nut? I just want to clarify.
Yes, I did.
I'm stealing that.
Post-nut. We'll suss that nug later.
He's like blissed out.
So intense.
Him admitting Shane's name is him admitting, I'm in love with you.
Mhm.
And then Shane says Ilya, and then immediately is the opposite reaction. Shane's immediate reaction is,
Oh, fuck.
oh, no, this is too serious. Oh my God.
I might be in love with him and I have to leave. And usually what happens when Shane starts freaking out is Rozanov becomes
Ilya.
kind of a dick, just like puts up a wall. He's so confused by the whole situation that
Because he was vulnerable.
he just says, okay, and like lets Shane walk out. And it was actually quite heartbreaking.
Oh, his face was like, what is happening?
Miserable.
It was sad.
the way he's like, Shane, he says it twice. And the second one is like, don't do this. The first one is like, hey,
Calm down.
don't go. And the second one is like, you know what's happening. Don't go. Oh my God.
Yeah.
It like literally was like,
It was heartbreaking.
oh, I had to pause.
So Shane does rush out. Next scene, he's at lunch with his parents talking about his promo deals and his career. And the mom is talking to him about Rolex wants to have him in the Wimbledon box. There's going to be a Swedish princess there. And I kind of thought they're probing. They're trying to figure out what's going on with their son.
Yeah, they're trying to figure it out. I also got the same vibe, Lynn.
Because he's not with anyone. Like, wouldn't you want to be excited about a Swedish princess? And he's like, no, I don't want to talk about this.
I appreciate his mom and dad dynamic. Shane's mom is like momager mode. His dad is always checking in on him.
How you doing?
Always testing the waters. Yeah, what's going on?
Shane finally just says, no, I only have so much time in the summer to take a break. I don't want to spend a week in Wimbledon. And the parents are like, but it'll be so great. And he's like, then you go. And they're like, well, we can't go without you.
That was a little icky.
I didn't like that. Was I the only one?
We need to force you to go because we want this vacation.
That's what it felt like.
Oh, I
didn't
didn't
like
get that vibe at all.
Oh, I totally did.
You could have gotten that vibe.
I would never do that to my kid. I mean, we'll see.
I was
Like, the dad obviously rounds out the conversation of, if you want to go, I think it would be fun.
Shane says, let's talk about it. It could be fun. And he acquiesces.
Yeah, he just kind of concedes.
To me, that was sad because, like, he didn't want to go.
You know what? I felt the same way. I felt like it was forced upon him and he was doing all of this because that's what they wanted him to do.
Cut scene. He's at home at night by himself, which is par usual. Like, he's a kind of a homebody. He gets called up by one of his player friends and says, hey, I'm at this cool party.
JJ.
Our chef friend at this restaurant is throwing this after hours thing. All the actors and actresses from the show that's being filmed in Montreal are going to be here.
X Squad.
You must come. Yeah, very X-Men-ish. He gets convinced to go and flirts with the bartender. He orders ginger ale and the bartender goes, we do have it, but...
He makes him feel weird about it. And Ilya would never.
And he's like, fine, I'll take a beer. So he drinks a beer, probably just because he's sad about the Ilya thing.
He also got peer pressured.
He ends up in the booth with this actress named Rose.
I think he's like trying to escape. He just kind of sits and then he's like, oh, fuck, someone else is sitting here.
She was eating fries.
Because she's so different and quirky. She's so quirky. She's eating fries.
I loved her.
I liked her too.
Stop hating on her, Miranda.
I'm not hating. I think she's like kind of cringe, but I think it's just of the time.
It was refreshing to see an actress eating French fries.
Right.
See, I think that's why it's like, she's so different. I'm like, girl, it's not that whimsical.
I liked her.
I'm an actress eating fries in a public place by myself, enjoying the fuck out of these fries, but I can't eat them all. So why don't I share with this average Joe who's pretending to be straight?
Average Joe.
That's what happened.
Why don't I share with this hot ass man that I want to fuck? No one can blame her.
The entire story arc with her, she was amazing.
I like her a lot. And I think she is the perfect friend. Like, he needed her.
Oh, 100%. So they end up playing poker with all the friends at the bar, and she puts her hand on his leg, and he puts his hand on her leg.
He flirts with her first because he makes the comment when they're in the booth of like, oh, you know who I am?
Oh, they have a total cute banter, and they end up talking for hours.
And then he makes the comment, are you going to be in town for a while? Wait, I kind of like her. This could be the girl. This could be the girl that I finally date.
This is how I can prove that I'm not gay, is I could be with this woman. So now they're in a relationship, right? We're fast forwarding.
And the media catches it.
And the media picks up on it, right? And we're very much hockey player, actress. Hard launch. And Rosenoff's in the locker room and all his teammates are like, oh my gosh, have you seen it? Hollander's with this Rose actress, finding out that he is now dating a woman. He's fraught. He gets off the bike.
He's butthurt and jealous. That is his man.
Like, he hits his foot on the thing and curses, and I stubbed my toe because he's just so sad. But it's all over the place.
And we've all been there, girl.
Yeah.
And then she goes to the games, gets tons of press. Everybody's looking at her, wears this jersey. And she's like a huge super fan.
Don't piss me off.
The Taylor Swift of it all.
Yeah.
They are the A-list
couple, and they're everywhere.
Everybody's obsessed with them. The fans, the media, all of it.
Yeah, and he's a darling, right? I mean, he's been popular, won 2 cups already, the captain.
He's a golden boy.
So they're still dating, but Montreal and Boston, the 2 teams that Shane and Ilya play for, play against each other. All you hear is the talking heads who are like, where the hell were they? They didn't show up to the game because each of them are so in their heads about each other that they can't show up on the actual rink.
It's like going to a dance and seeing your ex there.
Mm-hmm.
Now you're like, fuck him. I'm going to dance better. I'm going to look better. I'm going to do better.
Yeah, my girlfriend's in the stands with my jersey on. Uh-huh.
Well, I don't think that Shane felt that way.
I think Shane was proving it to himself, not to Ilya.
And Ilya was so hurt. Then he was like mad.
He's jealous. That's his man.
So Rose had texted Shane before the game and said, I can't be there, but come meet me after. So he goes, which he typically doesn't do, shows up at this club.
Once again, not being himself, drinking, partying, that is not Shane.
Orders a beer, and she says, I won't make you dance. But of course, as soon as he shows up, she's like, dance with me, dance with me. And he doesn't obviously want to do that, but he does. And Ilya shows up at the club and sees him with Rose.
Oh my God, girl.
He like is twitchy and he's in his room with his roommate and he's like, I gotta get laid. Call the boys. We going out. But of course they end at the same place.
Of course.
If y'all want to know some like background info, because we know I'm like actually crazy and not normal about this show at all. The actor who plays that roommate, he's also the one who showed Ilya, like, look who Shane's dating, it's the same person. That's a trans actor. And so like inclusivity, yay.
That's cool.
How do you find this stuff out?
Because I'm crazy.
She has watched every single thing about this show ever.
That's funny.
So they're at the club. He's dancing, and Ilya sees him there, grabs a blonde, starts dancing with her.
Ilya sees Rose's friend first. And that's how Ilya knows. Because you see him clock the friend first, and you can tell in his brain, he's like, Shane is here. If that friend is here, Rose is here. And if Rose is here, Shane is here. And then he starts scanning. And the same thing happens to Shane because Shane sees Ilya's friend on his team and he sees him. And then he goes, oh, fuck, Ilya's here. And he starts scanning. Oh, my God, girl. This scene is it's so important to me. Like, I cannot.
Ilya's been the hard ass the whole time. Now he's the vulnerable one, and it's so hard to watch. But he grabs the blonde, very Ilya style, starts basically making out with her on the dance floor.
Sucking on her ear? You slut.
I wouldn't turn that away. He's hot.
But he's dancing with Rose. And this is the weird part, right? Like the gay best friend of Rose comes up and starts dancing behind him.
Because the gay best friend has already clocked the fact that he's gay. And this is fascinating to me.
Does not happen in the book.
But I've always wondered about this.
It was interesting.
Is there a vibe? Is there some essence that you give off?
I'm sure there's a vibe.
There's got to be something there where you spot your people. You know your people.
Yeah.
I know that girl's a bitch. Yeah. We're going to be friends. That kind of thing.
In the book, when they're all sitting at that booth, the friend is flirting with Shane and Shane clocks it. Shane is like, oh, I'm getting uncomfortable because her friend is flirting with me. And they go dance to get away from him. It bothers me because I was like, that doesn't make sense for Shane's story. This is the only thing that I do not agree with in the show is Shane would never do that. If the friend was dancing on him, Shane would have freaked the fuck out.
And I thought that was so weird that he didn't.
Even Shane was uncomfortable.
And he walks away very quickly, but they didn't make as big a deal about that.
In the book, he's like panicking where he's like, oh, her friend is flirting with me. I don't know what to do about this. And then they go dance by themselves because he's like, I don't want to be around this friend.
Can we talk about what a shitty friend this is?
Gross.
That you're out on the dance floor with your date and he's all up on him behind him.
I would literally be like, you're trying to fuck my boyfriend. And he was, obviously.
Yeah, I'd be pissed. I didn't like it.
So Ilya's dancing with the blonde. Shane sees him. He walks away from Rose and the friend and stares at Ilya dancing with this blonde. But then you get snapshots of later in the night with Shane with Rose in his apartment with her taking her clothes off and walking up the stairs and him being very torn about following her up the stairs.
Do I go? Do I stay?
And he finally goes up the stairs and starts fucking Rose. And you cut to Ilya on his own in the shower, jacking off, thinking about Shane. Did not go home with the blonde, all by himself. Cutscene, end of episode 4. And that was crazy. So we cut to episode 5, and she's getting ready to leave his house, and he apologizes.
He couldn't perform.
He couldn't perform. And she's like, it's totally fine, but maybe you and me get together for dinner later this week. Okay. And he's like, yeah, that'd be great.
I know what you are.
You get the sense that this is not the first time that this has happened.
I have never been in this situation where a man cannot perform, but I felt like she handled it very well.
Oh, so well.
Subtle flex from Kim. She's like, every man always wants to fuck me.
What do? Are you like, okay, so this isn't happening. Let's watch a movie.
It's awkward for everybody.
But she's like, maybe it was just a weird night.
Yeah, she's not ready to totally out him, but she wants to be sure.
She's like, I think we have a great time together, but the sex is not clicking. Are you gay?
She was so beautiful about it with him.
And she basically says, this is okay. And she asks, have you been with another man? And he says, yes. He outs himself.
And she says, is it better?
He nods.
Oh, my God.
Yes, it is better.
She was a class act. And this is why when you were trying to dog her a little, and I was like, I can't. She was too classy.
She was awesome.
And then acted like his bestie.
She said, we're going to be best friends.
Girl, I want to hear all about it. You're going to call me. You're going to let me know. It's just like, oh, it was so sweet the way she handled it.
She said 70% of my boyfriends have been gay. And he's like, what?
She's a theater girl. It's
70%.
He has flashbacks while she's having that conversation with him. She's like, oh, have you been with a man before?
Only thinking about
it's
Ilya.
Showing scenes to the viewer of him and Ilya. It's different footage. You feel like you're in his memories. It's the same scene, but it's a different cut of the scene.
Like his point of view.
Now you're feeling like you're in his memories of these flashbacks. Oh my God, Hudson Williams, the man that you are, the actor that you are, like... He is such a perfect Shane. Shane is so inside of himself.
Yeah, he's very insular.
He doesn't have a lot of dialogue. All of his stuff is so internal, and I feel like Hudson Williams does such a great job of showing that in Shane.
Yeah.
And this scene is such an indicator of that. You can see all of it on his face. I'm like, where is his Oscar? Where is his Emmy? Like, oh my God.
So their dinner is very supportive and obviously very pivotal for Shane.
Love Rose down.
He realizes that he is probably just gay. They leave the restaurant and she says, if you need somebody to talk to, I'm here for you. Let's be friends. And he's like, really? And she's like, yes, like best friends. You won't get away from me now.
She could not have done that better.
And he needed that because Ilya has Svetlana and Shane had nobody.
Very lonely. So now Shane's single again. They have the East versus the West, the All-Star game, because it's Montreal and Boston. And then Scott Hunter gets a little nod here, who's in New York, are all on the East Coast team, playing the West Coast team. So they get to play together for the very first time. So they meet in the bar. Poor Shane has hired a stylist, so he has different clothes on. Ilya's kind of making fun of him, but they sit there and kind of start to be friends.
He was so vulnerable.
Ilya was so guarded.
Mm-hmm.
He didn't know that him and Rose had broken up yet, so he's probing. And poor Shane,
who's awkward already,
where Ilya's like, did you come with anyone? And
he says, my family's not here, but he doesn't say Rose.
Because Ilya is probing, did you bring your girlfriend? And he does it like 3 separate times.
Are you alone? Can we meet up?
It's going right over his head.
Where's Rose?
Did you bring Rose?
Where's Rose?
Finally gets there. So they're playing together, and there's a couple of really cute hockey scenes where they're like on the same side. They're working really well together.
It's beautiful.
Like they practically kiss on the rink because like they made
kill it.
Goal. It was really, really adorable. They are at the pool at the same time. Shane watches Ilya play with these kids in the pool and like falling deeper in love.
That's
and
cute.
they end up together on the beach.
Oh, the beach.
Their hands are right next to each other.
Oh, the sunset.
There's a room number switch.
Well, and mind you, in this episode, there has been little to no sex.
Right.
This is just their relationship.
And I remember watching it and being like, okay, when are they going to fuck? Not to like sound like a freak.
I mean, a little bit, but that's okay.
The relationship becomes deeper.
Showing like, okay, yes, they're having sex. That's not the focus. As a viewer, focus on the fact that this is happening.
And I actually really love romance novels that we do that are like this, right? Where as the relationship becomes deeper, there's still sex at the end, but it becomes more about their relationship versus just the hot sex.
Well, that's why the first few episodes you didn't enjoy it because it was sex without emotion. And now we're doing emotion without sex.
Yeah.
We flipped it. I think the series was done so well.
It's so intentional.
That's how a lot of relationships are. That's how they start.
Especially the gay ones.
Yeah.
Totally.
They end up back in the hotel room. He went from this like very open relationship with Rose, and now they're back hiding again. And Shane's nervous again. He's awkward again. It's almost like they're starting over.
So cute.
He asks Ilya, can you please sit down? And he says, I think I'm gay. And Rosnov's like, no shit, dude.
Yeah, and he was like, oh, what made you think that?
And he's like, no, but like completely gay. And he's like, great. Like, good for you.
Yes, we are tracking.
No shit.
He's like, what is this thing between us? And I think Rosnoff really feels like he needs to talk Shane off a ledge a little bit and says like, listen, this is just simple. Like, we don't have to overcomplicate this thing.
This is where Shane is starting to be like, I'm gay, I like you. And Ilya's like, oh, we can't. This is where from Ilya's POV, he's like, this is getting serious. I have to stop. And this is Shane finally coming forward and being vulnerable. And Ilya is like, oh, I think I am in love with him, but we can't be in love because of the hockey, because of the rivalry.
My family.
Because of the Russia.
Because of Russia! Like the whole fucking scene.
Rosenoff is like, we can keep doing this thing in hiding. Let's keep this really simple.
Yeah.
We obviously care for each other, but like we can't be out. And he talks about he has a dad and his brother who are police. His dad has dementia. His life is too hard.
Yeah, you get more of his backstory, I feel.
Yeah, you get more vulnerability from Ilya. Then Ilya goes and crawls on his lap and they have a very tender moment hugging each other. And to our point about how there's less sex in this episode, they cut scenes.
It's alluded that they have sex, but we don't
It's
see
not
it.
about that.
The next scene is Ilya half naked on the bed as Shane's walking out, but you do notice that they're back to first names. Then Shane's back in the locker room after a game. One of his friends say, hey, did you know that Rosenoff didn't make it to Nashville? He wasn't on the plane with his teammates and no one knows where he is. And he's like, well, what's the media saying? Everybody's being really cagey about it. So he's texting, what's going on? Are you okay? And finally, we understand that his dad had passed away. And so he had to fly back to Russia for the funeral. So when he goes to Russia, they're at a big dinner.
This is the first time that you see Ilya's backstory. This is the first time that you're like, okay, now I'm understanding.
It's a real vision of what's happening behind the scenes. You feel that pressure and stress when he's sitting at that family dinner. It's ugly.
And so he excuses himself from this very awkward dinner table. His brother follows him into the bathroom and says, so what's the plan now?
The scene was crazy.
Ilya is like, my dad just died. He's not cold in the ground. Can you give me a minute?
Our dad. Not even just Ilya's dad. I'm like, this is his brother.
Alexi's like, well, what the fuck, dude? I have a daughter. We've got things to do. What do you want?
Pay me more.
Luckily, Svetlana, who is totally in love with him, walks in. The brother's, of course, pissed that she's there. Ilya pushes his brother against a wall and says, fuck you. You can have my apartment in the city. I will set up a trust for your daughter until she is 18 years old. Then she can access it. Otherwise, stay out of my life. I never want to talk to you again. It was amazing.
I loved this.
I did too.
Alexei finally leaves. Svetlana pushes him and says, I love you. And I know you love me, but I'm not the one you're in love with.
She's known that all along.
I felt like it was a Rose Shane conversation.
And she says it's never going to be with us like it is with Jane.
She changes the pronoun too in that scene.
He's a lucky guy.
That's where she says he, and that's when you know, oh, she's clocked it all along.
She's known the whole time. So he's walking the streets of Russia and he FaceTimes.
Oh, this part.
So good.
Somebody sedate me. I can't.
Shane's in a hotel room. He has to like run out of the hotel room to go into the stairwell to talk. He needs to hear Shane's voice. Shane's asking me if he's okay. And he finally says, I can't talk anymore. English is too hard right now. And Shane says, would it be better if you just spoke in Russian? Like, I won't understand you, but maybe it'll make you feel better. And he was like, yes, I think that would help. And so he speaks to him in Russian. Of course, Shane cannot understand a word of it, but we can because we get the closed captions.
In the book, you do not get any of Ilya's speech.
So you don't know?
Yeah, girl, clock that fucking tea.
Do you get it in Russian?
No, you get it's from Shane's POV. I truly think the TV show is better than the book. Peace and love to Rachel. Peace and love.
Which also again means no peace, no love.
in Miranda's language.
Duck, because shots are about to be fired, but go ahead.
And that was one of the things that the readers were so excited to see. Is he going to translate what Ilya says? Because that scene is from Shane's POV. And Shane is saying, like, how beautiful Ilya's voice sounds, how much he loves hearing him speak in Russian. Oh my God, it's so good. I'm going to throw up.
Don't throw up. Hold that back.
But the things that are being shared are heartbreaking.
Oh, heavy.
I mean, he talks all about how awful his dad was and how much he misses his mom and how his brother's a fucking asshole.
I pay for everything and I still don't feel like I do enough. I hate Russia.
And then the inevitable admittance.
I just want to be with you and I love you.
There was a part of me that was like, does he understand him? Because of the bliss look on his face.
I was like, oh, wait till he says something in Russian back.
I was thinking the same thing, Kim. I was like, he's going to say
I
it.
was like, do it, do it.
Duh.
This was done so well and so sweet. Russian is not a beautiful language.
Hard disagree.
It's like German. There's like
it's like
Jenny's like, yeah, that Russian does it for me.
I was down.
In this moment, it was beautiful. It was soft. It was just well articulated.
Very vulnerable.
So we're back in regular season. They're playing each other. They're supposed to meet up afterwards and they're kind of flirting, like looking at each other. Shane looks back at Ilya and smiles and one of Ilya's team members clocks him and he goes out cold.
It's called a check in hockey. Jenny.
Yeah, Jenny with the fact check.
I didn't even know that. But Ilya is visibly distraught.
Oh, he's pacing on the ice.
They are meant to be rivals.
Nobody can understand why he cares so much.
They tell him to go back to the sidelines. He can't take his eyes off of Shane.
The gurney.
He's like barely speaking. Ilya is freaking the fuck out. Back in the hospital room, Ilya comes to visit him. You can tell he's a bit twitchy, like he probably shouldn't be there. And Shane is so obviously heavily medicated that he might say anything. Tells him my teammate feels awful. He didn't obviously mean to do that. And he's like, yeah, it happens. We all get our bell rung every so often. Like he's so blissed out from like the drugs.
He's on morphine or something.
He goes to like hold Ilya's hand and he finally says, this summer, don't go to Russia. Come to my cottage.
Adding book context, Ilya's POV going into that is I'm breaking up with him. Yeah, girl.
What?
Because it was so stressful on the ice.
Because Ilya watching him get hurt is Ilya's feeling of like, this is too serious. I need to break it off.
He's got some angst.
But you can tell he's not fully committed to the cottage or seeing him again. He's just like, I want to get out of here. Shane has broken a collarbone.
Severe concussion.
He's out of the rest of the season. Shane goes home to his parents' house to be taken care of. And there is a really kind of cute scene where the mom says to the dad, did you know Ilya came to visit Shane in the hospital? I guess I hate him a little bit less now.
She knows everything. She's momager.
She does.
The dad calls her a witch.
Yeah, he's your witch. Like, how would you even know that? She predicts that Scott Hunter is going to win the Stanley Cup. And he's like, how the fuck would you know that?
She even makes that comment about Ilya being injured, his ribs. And she's like, oh, he's favoring this side. She clocks everything.
And then Shane's like, how would you even know that? And then says, how are your ribs? And he's like, they hurt. She's a hockey psycho. And she knows all of these things. We do cut to the Stanley Cup. Ilya is not in the Stanley Cup and neither is Shane. But you see them both at their respective houses watching the game. Back to Scott Hunter and the smoothie man, Kip, and their relationship.
This is the end of book one.
It's so cute. I just love this couple so much. Scott Hunter wins the Stanley Cup. He has gotten a bad rap the whole series, really. Like, he's down and out. He's too old.
They were not nice to him.
He's like 31.
It's the same in the book. He's on a losing
Right.
streak because when him and Kip start to fall out, his performance shows it. And so
It's a redemption arc.
His redemption story.
when he finally like accepts himself, his game gets better. Where like
Right.
when him and Kip were on the outs, he was laying like shit.
So he wins the Stanley Cup and he looks up into the stadium and sees Kip with his friend Elena. Now they're broken up, we think, because, you know, he didn't come to the birthday party. Kip said, I don't want to be with you if you can't be with me. So he's won the Stanley Cup. He looks up, he brings Kip down to the
Everybody's
ice.
bringing their families on the ice.
And he's alone.
Kip's like, what are you doing? You don't have to do this. And he's like, yes, I do. I love you. And he's like, I love you too. And he makes out with him in
And
the
they
middle
make out.
of the ring.
Right on camera.
Right on the camera. And
Everybody's like, oh.
everybody knows that it's happening. And it's so crazy. First gay man in hockey. The next scene is Ilya calling Shane and says, I will meet you at your cabin this summer.
I'm coming to the cottage.
Yay!
Cutscene. So Scott Hunter basically inspired Ilya to take the
The way
leap.
the show did it, and it was so much better than the book, but you feel that this is history making.
Yeah.
Because everybody knows where they are when
Mhm.
he does it. You see where everybody's sitting. You see the moment everybody's in when this happens. You know where the parents are sitting. I mean,
Yeah,
Mhm.
because he's obviously recovering. And the family is like, oh my God.
Oh no, they're like, everyone is like shocked, right? They don't know what's going on.
And you see Shane and Ilya's face.
Both of them are texting, what's going on? I don't know. What the hell is he doing? I don't know.
Uh-huh.
It's everyone's freaking out about this monumental moment in hockey.
If you think of the real world parallel, Heat of Rivalry obviously is set in like early 2000s to mid 2010s. Even to this day, there was not an out NHL player until after Heated Rivalry.
Oh no, totally. I saw this.
There is one.
One guy came out because of Heated Rivalry just a few weeks ago.
Yes, if you think of like the context of it, to this day in 2026, like there is still one singular.
That just blows my mind, though. It really does, because in today's
you got to
time,
think about all pro sports. How many gay football players do we
Doesn't
know
blow
about?
my
I'm
mind.
sure there's a lot. We just don't know about it.
Basketball? What?
More than hockey.
I don't know any. They don't talk about it.
You don't see it very often. So that's how we end episode 5. So episode 6,
The cottage.
this episode is my favorite. Everything culminates together. We start with Scott Hunter winning the MVP award for the year. Yay, Scott Hunter. Like, he was down and out for most of the series. And he gives this really moving speech about where he came from and where he was at in his career. But then he found love and he says to Kip, I love you. And Kip's with his little friends at the gay bar that they all hang out at and they're all like sweet. And it was very cute ending to their story.
That bar is a big character in the book.
Safe space.
Then we get to the summer at the cottage. Shane picks up Ilya from the Ottawa airport.
God, this is hilarious.
Ilya's fucking awkward getting into the car with the suitcase. Like, they're back to being fucking awkward, which is sort of endearing and sort of just annoying at this point.
And them in their little summer clothes in Canada, I'm like,
yes.
But Ilya is hot as fuck in a tank top.
I did not think he was hot in a tank top. I don't think tank tops are hot.
I was not loving the tank top, but also it's indicative of the times.
It's 2018.
That's what they were wearing.
This was only 10 years ago.
It's not that long ago.
It's not like he's in bell bottoms, you know.
I know. It's like 1960s, guys.
He gives him shit about his car, too. What was that car?
Eco.
Because it's a practical car. It's a Jeep.
It's a practical SUV.
Ilya is the sports car boy. So he's like, what the fuck is this mom-ass, minivan ass?
Like, what is this thing? It was like a station wagon.
And Shane's like, it's practical.
They get to the cottage and Shane says, I built it. And he says, I know. And then he realizes like he's watched
Mr. Landlord.
all of his things.
It's all windows. This place is just stunning.
It's beautiful with like all these views.
There's a reason it's all windows because
now they're out in the open.
This is the only place he can be himself, surrounded by woods where no one else sees him.
It's like finally safe.
They start to make out. They are finally coming back together.
You can't treat the bellboy like this.
They're so cute. He pretends like he's like showing him around the hotel.
I think this is how the bellboy likes to be treated.
Shane asked for 2 weeks, can we just have complete honesty and be vulnerable and just tell each other how we really feel? Rosenoff says, I'll try. So he wants to do it.
He's gun shy.
So they end up in Shane's room, but Shane stops to close the blinds so that they would have complete privacy. And Ilya stops him, opens them back up, and says no. It is really cute. They wake up together. They spend time together. They just lounge on the couch. They talk. But Ilya doesn't know what to do in nature. So they're just out on the veranda with a fire.
When he hears the loon.
That is so funny.
The bird.
What the fuck was that?
And he's freaking the fuck out.
Me every night in my backyard.
Canadian wolf
And
bird.
Shane's like, it's a loon. Shane does like a bird call and
He did a loon call. He knew how to do it with his mouth. He didn't even have like a special whistle.
He did. Ilya's a city boy.
Yeah, he's from the concrete jungle in
Like,
Russia.
Yeah, he doesn't know what to do, but he realizes it's so peaceful. And you can see that. He has his head on Shane's lap. They are very intimate without sex.
I'm going to be crazy for a second. I need some peace and love here. And not my peace and love, which is crazy and evil. I need some genuine peace and love. If we look at, everyone's going to be like, you're reading too much into it. I'm not, okay? Ilya's hair throughout the series, stay with me. Ilya's hair. In every scene, when he's with Shane, obviously Ilya has like that curly, it's literally Connor's hair, because in the story, Ilya doesn't really have curly hair. Ilya's hair as Connor. When you look at the scenes that Ilya is in Russia with his family, it is gelled down. It is very tamed. In other scenes where he's just with Shane, it's more curly, it's cutesy. It's honestly really fucking hot.
So hot.
It's nice.
By being honest and vulnerable. In that scene with the loon, his hair is like...
It's relaxed.
It is crazy. Like, girl, his hair is curly. It's poofy. It's all of that.
He doesn't have put in any airs.
Nothing in the show is not intentional. In the scene where, like, the loon and the campfire of it all, because he is the most vulnerable. It's where he first mentions his mom to Shane. He's not talked about his mom the entire series. Yeah. And any scene where he's with his dad or in Russia, the hair is gelled. The hair is very tamed, very close crop, very styled. And some scenes with Shane, it's like curly, but it's still like cutesy curly. If you go back and watch the series, you will literally see the difference in his hair in every scene. And if you think of the emotional vulnerability that Ilya has, it directly correlates with how his hair is styled. And I know that makes me sound crazy, but I'm not wrong.
I don't think you're crazy. You might be a little obsessed with this show. Just like a little bit obsessed that you've watched it several times and you know like the hair gel content.
But it's true. I could be crazy, but I'm not wrong.
That's fair.
Two things can be true.
Their weeks here at the cottage, they're very domestic and they're kind of living their lives and they're kind of getting to know each other really for the first time in this with this length of time together. They play video games and
they play their own video game where they're their own character, which cracks me up.
Oh yeah.
They play each other's and then he's like, I'm on the fucking cover. So cute.
That was adorable. One night they're on opposite sides of the couch, feet touching. And Ilya does say he wants to get rid of his Russian passport. And I think this is him saying, like, I want to be with you, but I cannot be with you if I have a Russian passport.
He's breadcrumbing it too.
And so then he says, well, I could always marry Svetlana because she has a U.S. passport and she would do it for me because she loves me. She would basically be my beard. And Shane is having a hard time reconciling this and saying, you could marry any beautiful woman. If it's just for a beard, why don't just marry anyone?
He's worried he has feelings for Svetlana.
Well, and I think he's like, if you like women are going to get married, find one that you love. And he's like, well, that's not the point. The point is I just need to not be Russian anymore. Shane says, don't do it.
We'll figure it out. Don't do it.
Be with me. And I do think he was breadcrumbing to see how Shane would react, but I don't think he thought Shane would react bad to the marriage part.
I don't think he realized that Shane would be as jealous.
But I think Shane got to the right place.
That was the thing.
Because you can see on Shane's face,
what?
he's like,
please don't do that.
Daggers at him, like, why the fuck would you ever?
Well, he has a very traditional family, and he's like, why would you marry someone else if you want to be with me, right? And Ilya's like, listen, this is a means to an end. So they were coming at it, I think, from different points of view. Shane wakes him up in the middle of the night after this conversation.
I've been working on it for days.
I have a plan.
And so cute.
And this is once again people talking about his autism where it's like, oh, you tell him we can't be together. And then he stays up the entire night thinking about plotting the ways that you could be together without sleeping.
I would do that.
I feel like this is not autism. I'm like, welcome to my life.
It's a fixation of it where he's like, oh, he said he's going to marry Svetlana. How can I make this not happen?
You better put me on the spectrum, baby.
We're all there.
I would stay up all night long.
Fixers.
I have to know the fucking plan.
Across the board. We're going to make it work.
And I would totally then be like, hey, I figured it out.
Are you awake?
Like,
hey, yeah, waking him up in the middle of the night.
So his plan is, and Ilya said this earlier in the day, right? Like, I'm free agent next season, so I could maybe move to Ottawa. He's already been breadcrumbing it. And he's like, okay, here's the plan. You're going to play for Ottawa. So then we're only 2 hours apart. There's really no reason we need to be these heated rivals because, like, we're old now. There's all these new folks coming in. We can start a charity together. That would be totally normal. We can start being seen together. We can have lunch together. We can be seen because it wouldn't be weird. And then when we retire, we can really, really be together. And Ilya the whole time was like, I'm still sleeping. What?
Yeah, what do you want?
This is too much English. I'm too tired.
I'm confused. Like, what's happening? But agrees. And they both tell each other they love each other and that they want to spend the rest of their lives together. And they're going to figure out together how they're going to do this because the mom had committed suicide when Ilya was 12. And so he says, we should start a charity that does hockey clinics and we'll give all the money to suicide prevention.
Oh, sweet.
And Ilya is like so touched.
Oh, he says the sweetest thing. He says, she would have loved you the way I love you.
She would have loved you. Oh. The next scene is them hanging out on the lake. They're playing in the water. They're so sweet together. They're kissing and just adorable. And as they're walking back into the house, they're kissing. You see someone in the house, like in the kitchen, watching them make out. And the dad sees it because it's a house of glass. Then immediately leaves. Shane is freaking out, goes out to the front, and the dad's already driven away. And he's freaking the fuck out. This is my worst nightmare. These are my parents. I wasn't able to tell them myself. This is scary. Like he's basically been in the closet his whole life and he's finally admitted he loves this person, but he hasn't gotten the courage to tell the people he loves most. And he says, I need to go there. And finally, Ilya says, do you want me to go with you? Would that help you? And he said, yes, I would like that. There's lots of hugging. And I'm surprised because Ilya all of a sudden becomes
the soft one,
the supportive, very vulnerable, soft guy because he's such a dick the entire time and scared himself. And all of a sudden he's like, yeah, let's go out ourselves to your parents. Like, can't wait. Totally here for it.
But he had already asked, do your parents know about you? And have you told them you're gay? They had had this conversation.
So they finally drive over to the parents' house. Shane says, maybe you should wait in the car. And Ilya's look at him is like, you fucked hard. And he's like, sorry, never mind, you're right. They just go up to the house. Ilya is finally like, we're doing this, man. Nut it up. So they show up to the house. The parents are just like sitting in the living room waiting.
Yeah.
But you find out that the dad actually didn't tell the mom what happened.
He said nothing.
She's like,
In walks in with Ilya, and she's like, what's happening? And Shane's like, I'm really sorry. And she's like, for what? And he says, well, I'm gay. And no lead up, nothing. And she's like, okay. And then the dad's like, I'm really sorry about this, man. My charger was in your kitchen. It was the right charger, and I didn't have any chargers here. And he's like trying to explain. And Shane's like, it's not your fault, Dad. And he's like, man, this is crazy. And she's like, what's he doing here? And Ilya goes, well, we're lovers. And Shane says, please don't say that.
well, and he like touches him on the shoulder very awkwardly.
Shane's like, oh, stop
Yeah,
saying
don't
that.
say that. That's disgusting.
Awkward. It's awkward.
But the parents are obviously rocked.
Well, the mom is for sure. I don't know about the dad.
The dad is very chill about it.
Yeah.
They handle it very well, I will say.
I don't know any gay reveal where the parents are really that surprised.
Right.
Like, so surprised. And she says, we thought you might have been,
yeah.
and we weren't sure.
Parents know.
They're at the kitchen table. She served them all coffee, and she finally says, so, like, how long has this been going on? And they're like, well, since our rookie year. And Ilya goes, well, but before that. She's like, I need a cocktail, and just gets up and walks away.
We're done with coffee. We're moving into the hard stuff right now.
I'm going to get wine. I think for her, and you find this out, it's a very touching scene where the
It was
mom goes
so
outside
touching.
to cry, and Shane goes out and says, Mom, I'm just so sorry. And he can't look at her. And she's like, you have nothing to apologize for. And she's like, look at me. He can't look at her, and he feels so bad. And she says, I feel bad that you didn't feel like you could tell me.
That was heartwarming.
Can you forgive me? And he's like, I forgive you, Mom, because they love each other. It's a beautiful
do.
family. It's so sweet.
It's a very healthy family dynamic.
It was touching.
And I know that's not every gay person's experience.
No.
I think it's really touching for Ilya to be in this somewhat idyllic family situation too. Mom makes pasta. They're kind of telling them their plan, this totally wacky plan where he's going to go to Ottawa and then they're going to do this charity. And the mom's like, well, didn't you get drafted by Boston? Where's your loyalty to Boston? And Shane's like, he's loyal to me, Mom. Like what the fuck?
She is such a hockey fan. She's like, how very dare you even think about
Yeah.
leaving that team?
How dare I can't believe you would leave Boston.
Yeah, her not even being mad about the
relationship.
She's mostly mad that he would leave Boston.
oh, but you would leave Boston? Like, oh, he's not loyal. She's so me.
But then Shane starts to really freak out. Like he's head down on the table, like
Mhm.
he's panicking. And Ilya puts his hand on his neck and says, it's okay. You're okay here.
Yeah.
You're with your family who loves you and your boyfriend. You're going to be okay.
And your boyfriend.
You're just here with us. And Shane goes, my boyfriend? And he's like, well, yeah, probably.
Maybe.
I think yes.
So cute.
And he gives him a little kiss. And the mom's like, 10 years, like, oh my God, like since rookie year.
Rookie season? She's like really registering.
So the mom and dad walk them out. Then they start planning their next dinner. And they're like, we're going to come over at 5. And they're like, please text us first. And she's like, no, but we'll be there at
Yeah, because he obviously walked in on them making out. So they're like, text us
So
first.
the mom's like, well, why would I have to text you?
So y'all aren't fucking.
And the dad's like, we'll text first.
Good call. Good call.
Yeah,
Because
smart.
he's traumatized.
Then they drive away. And the end of this first season is them driving into a sunset.
Thank God there was not an epilogue. I appreciated that.
No epilogue
No, we
on
just
the series.
ended the show.
That is the end of Heated Rivalry, the series. Probably going to be a pretty long one.
Supersized. Miranda supersized us.
I'm sorry. I know I have a lot to say.
No, it's all good stuff.
It was a very cool way to do this one book, or 2 books, I guess, with Scott and Kipps in a series.
Yeah. I was going to say nothing in the long game is touched on, and I'm so excited.
That's got to be season 2.
for the next series. Oh my God.
All right, exciting. So let's do a speed round of our ratings and spice. Mandy, what do we got on ratings?
I'm going 4 out of 5.
Okay.
4. I
For
like
the
it.
show, not the book, the show.
Yep, for the show.
I'm going 4 out of 5.
I'm also going to give it a 4.
Period.
Cute.
But I thought the storyline was there.
I feel
I
validated.
felt like I followed along well. There was depth in the characters. I watched them physically grow. I appreciated that.
I'm also going to go with a 4. If it had just been the back half, I would have maybe been higher. But on the average for the whole thing, I'm going to go 4. I loved the story. I loved their story. And I love how it ended.
Nice. All right, fuck it up, Jen.
I'm going to say it's a 1.
Ah!
I'm so upset.
Mandy would have started bawling.
I would have logged off.
To me, it's a 4.5 because of the production value.
Oh, period.
I loved the way that they told the story in the show.
It's so powerful.
It was so much better than the books.
Jacob Tierney respects the story and he builds upon it. The things that he adds, obviously Rachel has an incredible book, but Jacob understood the story.
He made it better.
And then made the TV series like so much better.
And you don't see that often.
You don't, yeah.
Yeah, it was a perfect storm.
Perfect.
Really good acting, really good production, really good directing.
And so much respect for the story.
Miranda.
Spice,
Whole series.
1 through 6 of Spice, I'm rating it a 4 out of 5.
Okay. I would say a 3. You did get that super spicy in the beginning, but then you got the relationship at the end. So I didn't feel like they carried that through
I
very
agree
well.
the second half. The second half was less spicy for sure.
It brought down the average.
It did. It dropped the average a little bit. So yeah, 3.
The sex for me is a 3.5. Like, I think that it obviously heavy on the front end, less on the back end. The story definitely picked up on the back end, which I really liked. All right, Jen, Spice.
Same. I'm going to go 3.5 because it did start strong and then it did taper off.
Yeah.
If you're here for spice and sex, it's a 3.5.
So, like, obviously, teaser, if we're going to do a follow-up of the long game, girl, invite me back. I'm not kidding. I'll kill you. Like,
We'll see how the
please.
ratings are for this one, Mandy.
I need to talk about it.
You better promote the shit out of
I
this.
would like to point out that she just speaks like that. There is no real depth and tense.
Obviously, Heated Rivalry is very much like Shane and Ilya. I feel like the long game is Ilya. Ilya's backstory, Ilya's trauma, and I'm excited for, she's obviously writing a third one in their relationship. I'm hoping that will be more about Shane's trauma. The long game is more about Ilya's struggle with his childhood and his dealing with the homophobia of hockey and the NHL. And I'm so excited to see how they portray that in the TV show because, again, I think Jacob Tierney is so intentional about all of the series. And so I just know that he's going to do it so well. So again, I'm so excited to see you girls.
See you in a couple of years.
When everyone's caught up.
All right, guys, this was so fun to do Heated Rivalry. Miranda, thank you so much for joining us.
So fun.
Loved having you for both of these last episodes. This is the last episode before our recap,
what?
which is crazy. Season 4 at the end. Please go back and listen to all of our episodes, season 1 through 4, with I think a couple little mini musters in there. You can go to boozybookchasms.com. You can follow us on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube. Thanks so much.
Until we meet again, happy reading.
Happy reading.
Bye.
So
for tuning in.
long.
I'm
We
sorry.
hope today's episode was the climax of your day, leaving you breathless and wanting more. Until next time, remember to indulge in the pleasures of life and to keep the passion alive. You can find more tantalizing episodes at boozybookgasms.com. Enjoy the ride, and we'll see you soon.
Girl, edit this into the podcast. My best friend Liz put me on. I owe her my life. Oh my God.